Hello, this is Tom Searcy with the 1% Difference, and this week we're going to talk about educating the inexperienced buyer. Maybe you've noticed this, but the people that we're talking to right now seem to know less and less about their own business and about what it is that we are selling. Because of the baby boom demographics, we're seeing a less experienced buyer at the table across industries, and this is dangerous because they can't discern the differences between two similarly framed competitors when making a decision. Typically, the 55, 60, and 65-year-old decision makers are being either retired out, downsized, right-sized, moved out. And they came with all the background and reference frame and experience. Now, they're not being replaced with someone with 15 or 20 years worth of experience. The trend in the marketplace is that you take somebody with data analytics background, maybe an MBA or an advanced degree, someplace subject relevant, and they're coming in at 30, 35, or 40 years of age without all the background that's necessary to make the decision, and yet they are the person that you're interfacing with. So how do I deal with someone who doesn't have the relevant terminology, reference frame, ability to discern between good and great? How do I put myself and my organization in the best position to win in that fight? Well, here's a couple things to do. Number one, give them a state of the industry review. See, they don't have a good lens or a framework from which to make decisions. And so what you want to do is you want to say, here's the way our industry frames out. There are low price providers, there are middle service and middle price providers, there are high service and high price providers. Whatever framework you provide that gives a structure for that new and less educated or experienced decision maker to understand the state of the industry. Don't expect that they have the same reference frame as the last person you were dealing with. That person's gone. In this case, build out that structure. Second thing is, make certain that you can help them separate out the good from the bad by providing them very specific questions to ask when they're interviewing any potential provider, you or your competitors. Third, help them to build their own filter criteria. So now that you've shown this wireframe methodology by which they can kind of examine the marketplace and ask questions of all the competitors, including you, then help them to determine for their unique business and their unique problems, what are some of the core key filter criteria. Next, help them write the questions. You know what the questions that they should be asking, and it's very easy for you to say, look, if it were me and I were in your shoes and I was talking to a company like mine and the other competitors in my marketplace, I would ask these 3 or 4 questions of all of us and make everybody provide those answers so that you can compare them side by side. By doing this, you're changing the lens through which they look at their problem. And when you control the lens, you have a better chance of controlling which competitors are going to be shown at the highest level and which ones are going to be excluded based upon the questions that you ask. Finally, always make certain that you establish for yourself a neutral position on the purchase. If you get caught selling, you're losing. So by doing all of this, you have to take that position that I want you to be a more educated and more effective buyer. I'm not just doing this to try and get my company sold. Now, that has to be a sincere offer because they'll be able to tell whether you're being authentic or not. But if you are helpful and you can help to frame out this information for them, they are going to be a smart buyer, a better buyer, and I'm going to make the assumption that a smart and better buyer is a buyer that's going to buy from you. Until we get a chance to talk again, go out and make the 1% difference.
If you like this video, hit the subscribe button down below and the bell, and that way we'll let you know every time there are new videos that are out there. And you can also visit our website below.